Hey everybody, I'm your host, Trennow, back with another episode of Let's Play Star Wars Republic Commando. Sorry it's been a while since uploads. I know that's really painful because, you know, I'm not just like a Let's Player. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, obviously. You probably do if you have a channel and everything, you might expect. And I know it sucks like when it's like 3 or 4 weeks when there's no upload from someone you like watching videos from, and I really am sorry about that. Believe me, it's not because I like forget about the channel or I blow off making videos. That's not the case. I love my channel. I love making videos. I like Let's Plays. That's why I started making them. So believe me, it's just I had been so busy with classes the last few weeks that like finding time to sit down and make videos was really hard, and I'm sorry about that. I don't really like when I have to have like less than one video a week. Ideally I like to put like 2 videos out a week. I don't get to do that as often as I'd like to though. But again, sorry about that, and I do my best to minimize these kind of events, but sometimes they just end up happening if I just get assigned that much stuff, But back to the game. So, we kicked the Trandoshans out, but now their Separatist friends have arrived. And yep, they got a big control ship right in view, and we're gonna stop them from taking this ship from us. If you remember, we have pretty much sent out a call to the Republic for help, or the Republic Navy, and see if we can get some reinforcements here. Basically what we gotta do now is to keep the Separatists from landing. The easiest way to do that would be to basically make as many of these hangars impossible to land in as we can. You can see they've been dropping in those, I can't think of the name of them, but they keep spawning droids. Someone in the comments is gonna be like, oh no, this, and it's going, yep, that's it. Or that might be later in the episode. Yeah, first one is pretty easy. Really, they're all not that bad so long as you stay on top of them, because they don't usually send too many of these at you at once. Though if you get a super battle droid one, I'd say those are the worst. Though, they do exist for droidicas, but honestly, I generally don't find droidicas as bad as super battle droids. But as you can see, we've sufficiently screwed up the shields, and it's going to prevent any more from landing in this hangar. And so, if we can be slightly competent for like 2 minutes, we can get rid of this one, and kill these super battle droids and move on to Hangar C. Of course, this plan relies on me being competent, which is unlikely. If you're a big fan of like getting to set up traps and having waves of enemies come at you, you would really like this level, because that's pretty much what you do. There's a lot of explosive barrels and traps you can set up, as well as telling like where your squad mates, where you want to put them and everything. So if you're into that, this is a really good level for that kind of gameplay. And also, this is probably one of my favorite levels. The assault ship might be my favorite part of the game, just because I think everything was done so well. It's very atmospheric. They don't really reuse a lot of assets. They get pretty like new and creative, It doesn't the rooms feel different. They look different. I just think they did a very good job on everything. The gameplay is fun. You have a variety of enemies. The story just syncs really well with everything. It's cool.
Taking cover.
Granted, I think this game as a whole is really good, but I think the assault ship outdoes Geonosis by a lot.
Take him out. Got a straggler. He's running for help.
Okay. Obviously, the biggest problem I would say you would run into during this would just be, oh crap, they've already had time to set up, haven't they, on this hangar? Is that it's pretty easy to get overwhelmed if you don't stay on top of things. And before you know it, you just have too many droids to deal with. Also the fact that you typically end up with more droids than ammo. And so that can be a little bit difficult, but thankfully if you use your squad mates, get them set up in the right spots, then you can mitigate that. Though, even though they've had time to set up in this hangar, it's really not that bad. It looks like there's only a bunch of standard battle droids. I think they're called B1s? I think that's their technical name, and the supers are B2s, but I might be wrong on that. That's a question for Wikipedia. Let's see here. Also, there's that giant pit right there, because, you know, Star Wars hangars always have to have those giant pits. I assume it's so they can, like, bring things up to the hangar from other levels, but that's not really important. Oh, there's another one of them. God, what are those things called? It just keeps spawning the droids. Why can't I remember this? I've played this game so much, I should know. That, you know, and I'm Let's Playing it, and that's typically, you know, Let's Players are supposed to know these things, but such is life. If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, so I think I'll set this one out to boil myself about sending my squad mates to get shot.
Registering. Eat that. 3-8 behind you. Fire in the hole.
And bam. I do like how it does damage to enemies that are standing next to it. So like it killed that super for us, which is really helpful. Because as I'm sure, you know, given this is like what, episode 13, you're probably like, you probably know by now I really fucking hate those super battle droids. And I'm getting shot like crazy, so we're not gonna deal with the regulator just yet.
Try to get a Spencer. It's headed for the upper level.
That might give me just enough cushion though.
Almost ready, sir.
Say that as I get shot again. And good. Don't think you're out of the woods just yet, though.
Droids from the next hangar are entering the area.
There's still good old Hangar D. I didn't think, what these are. I know in Empire at War, these ships for the Imperials are called Acclimator assault ships, and I know that like this is just called like the, you know, a Republic assault ship. I assume there's not really much difference. Just, you know, calling it the blasters really. But I didn't remember them having so many hangars.
Something happened.
I guess that's just another case of LucasArts not really paying the hell attention to like their canon or anything, and that and just balance reasons for like probably for Empire at War, since that was, you know, a big old strategy game, which is really good, by the way. If you've never played that and you want a good Star Wars strategy game, play that, because you won't have another Star Wars strategy game for a long time with Disney owning it, because, you know, they've pretty much only allowed EA to make Star Wars games, and as a result, our Star Wars games are pretty much non-existent releases.
Moving to cover.
Though I have high hopes for that potential Imperial Commando 2, Republic Commando 2, really named Imperial Commando, just because, you know, this is a really good game. Deserves a sequel. Not really sure why you can set up these barrels to explode. It's not really like you have a whole lot of purpose to. And as always, we will be taking the classic breach option, because once you kind of know which doors have the, never mind, I'm gonna slice it apparently. Me from the past is tripping up commentary me.
Almost done here.
For some reason when I record the narrations on these, it like cancels out the sound. So if it says, so if like the game says something like, oh, there was a turret or something, I usually don't know unless I remember, or I'm recording the narration a different way. Just kind of depends really on how I do it that day. But I'm guessing I had heard the something about like the security system, so I shut it down. Went with the slice to shut it down.
Eliminate target.
Good job, lead.
Eliminate target.
Always, always, always target one super if you're gonna face a group, so everyone can take them. Everyone focuses and takes them down a little bit faster.
Nice handiwork, sir.
Even though the damn things are too beefy. I'm kind of surprised they didn't get like a health nerf during playtesting.
Plant a sequence
Well, maybe it did, and still like just got it's still just too much.
Coming back. Position
Or maybe I'm just whiner. There's always that option.
trap set, squad. Charge ready. This should be good. We got droidicas, Deltas.
Annihilated. Fixers out.
Oh, I can see my teammates. Looks like they tripped the explosive. Or no, the droidica came by and tripped him, and then my squads went down with them. Oh well. As you can see, 4-0 is down, so I'm never in any rush to revive him because you know 4-0. There's a back to machine just over there, though. I really need it.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Generally, if I'm in health critical, I have a tendency to stay in health critical for absorbent amount of times.
Initiate vector procedures.
On my way, squad leader.
Just out of curiosity, this is a question for the comments. Has anyone else heard anything about Imperial Commando since those posts on Reddit with the supposed leaks and whatnot? I know there's like it's a studio EA works with is making a Star Wars game right now, and of course DICE is working on the Rogue One DLC and Battlefront 2. Well, I hope they don't call it that because it's pretty insulting to the original Battlefront 2. Not sure what else they would call it, but it should not be called Battlefront 2 if you ask me.
Delta 3-8, take up defensive positions at the rear of the hangar.
But for Hangar D, we kind of have a special surprise because they're pretty well entrenched here, as I'm sure you can imagine. And, well, it would just be kind of too hard otherwise to push on through and destroy the regulators by ourselves. Besides, for some of life's bigger problems, well, you just need a bigger gun. But Dark, haven't we unlocked all the weapons we're going to use on the ship? We have. But this is not really a handheld weapon that we're going to be picking up here as soon as we slice some terminals. See though, to do that though, need a little bit more cover. Even though the standard battle droids are pathetic, it's just kind of, they will get annoying if you let them kill you while you're slicing, but we need to get Scorch up. And even U4, oh, I'm about to die, so no, not U4. And I'm down.
Isn't a good time. Droid blasted.
Thanks, Scorch, buddy old pal. So glad you actually chose to revive me this episode, unlike the stupid canyon Geonosis where you just stood there. And just so you know, like I had like edited that too. Like when I left that in there just because I thought it had some comical appeal. But like that whole canyon episode was just really bad. That I hate that level. I hate that part of the level every time. I hate that part of the game every time I play it because it's just kind of like, and and all the times I've played it, it's never gotten easier for me. And it's not the first time I've encountered that bug actually, where like you tell your teammates to revive you and they just stand in front of you.
Cancel maneuver, Delta. Sit up there, Delta.
And I'm pretty sure I've only encountered it on Geonosis. I don't think I've encountered it in the other two areas of the game at all. The ship, and I'm gonna keep the other one secret because, you know, spoilers. And I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't played the game before. Which, if you have played this game, I hope you like kind of like want to play it again after watching this. And if you haven't, I really hope you give this game a shot because it's really good. I promise you, it doesn't feel clunky or old at all. It's definitely worth your time. I hope you see that let's play.
Targets confirmed.
Heads up.
Alright, so you finally get the stupid charge on this, and maybe you can have a damn shot at slicing the terminals. Without the droids breathing down. Well, I guess I should say breathing down my neck with droids. Whatever it is that droid machines do, you know, computing down my neck. It's a good old Sev reviving me. Sev never leaves me to die.
Take them out from there, Delta.
Not that I ever die, of course. I'm far too adept at this game. I'm sure if you're 13 episodes into this, you know, you've clearly seen that I am just absolute peak level of skill. Yeah, I seriously need to slice that terminal. And instead I go to 4-0, which in hindsight was a terrible fucking decision.
Get slicing on that terminal, Commando.
You got it.
Oh, and while it's on my mind, since nothing of extreme interest is happening, since just sent 4-0 to slice the terminal, and basically the rest of us are just gonna keep the droids off them. If you like Tech Talk, or if you didn't like it too, really, tell me in the comments below, you know, if you didn't like it as a whole, liked it as a whole, if there are aspects you liked or disliked, want to see more of them, that sort of thing. Just let me know. Me and Shadowfox had fun making it. I know it probably seemed kind of ranty at some parts, but that's more just because I really think Sony dropped the ball with these new PlayStation models. And even though I'm not a fan of the Xbox One by any means, I recognize that the Xbox One S is a slim console done right. Well, very right, actually, and like the new PlayStation models, I still kind of stand don't really bring anything new to the party, you know? But that's just my opinion. As a whole, I think the PS4 is better than the Xbox One. It's just that, like, when it came to the slim consoles and the Pro, I'm not impressed at all by Sony.
On its way.
It's kind of weird because I loved my PlayStation 2 Slim. Of course, there we go. We finally got the terminal slice.
Morning up, sir.
That means time for my favorite Hangin clearing device. And believe me, this thing is as fun to shoot as it looks, and then some. This is not something you want to have to get out of in any time soon. So if you ever play this game and you get to this, take your time and just enjoy it. Blow up everything in the hangar. You can actually blow up like almost everything in the hangar. It's great. You don't have to get that regulator right away. Kind of have to. I'm not really sure why they gave this a curve. Like, maybe because they just didn't want to have to like animate it hitting the force field regulator, or not the force field regulator, but the force field itself all the time. But like, you do have to like get the curve down right to hit stuff at the very end of the hangar, like the regulator.
Ship is secure.
ATTE. How I miss you in Battlefront games. Even though this is obviously not a Battlefront game, you remind me of great memories.
Enemy in full retreat.
That's right. Run!
Retreating? That's not very droid-like.
As always, folks, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate y'all sticking up with my crappy upload schedule. Again, not my plans for that, not planned for that to be as long as it was. Hopefully that will pick up, the rate of upload will pick up again. Also, hopefully the rate of me finishing a sentence will pick up too. But as always, thanks for watching.